Welcome to the final match of Game Round 3. High Elves, Dark Elves. So these are the top two teams going into this one. Dark Elves won their first two, and I've got the High Elves team. We're on a draw and a win so far. We got them in that order. Drew against Chaos, won against Undead. And I won the toss. Chose to defend. Remembered this time for the first time in quite a while not to set up within frenziable serfs, because I keep forgetting that against Dark Elves, but we don't, and we set up to defend. So three unleveled linemen on a line of scrimmage. One of them is brand new. We replaced a block movement 5 thrower who I think died outright in the last game. I'm pretty sure did. Now lives on as a zombie on the undead team in the league. Our two blitzers are both over this side. Both have dodge. One's got tackle. One's got guard. Got a thrower who's pretty new. He replaced an injured one early this season, just on 2 points. We've got a kicker here with wrestle, a block lineman, and then the rest are catchers, which are probably the best bits about High Elves in some ways. We've got an agility 5 dodge one. We've got a wrestle one. And we've got a dodge mighty blow block one there. There's also a block nerves a steel catcher on the bench, and there's another lineman there as well, who I think was just a block lineman. No, a wrestle lineman. So we kick deep. We got a high kick, so that negates some of the benefits of kicking deep. But they call it. The Dark Elves are attacking. We'll just have a look at them first. So they have got a kicker as well, who also has wrestle. So identical players. 2 block linemen on here. This is a dodge blitzer, an unleveled lineman, and a dodge sidestep blitzer. So I don't think I even tried to hit this guy once in the whole game, but because that's such a hard combo to try and hit, and it can be dangerous. It can leave you in a worse position than you started in. There's a witch elf with no levels. We've got a tackle blitzer over here who I kind of identified as a danger player. A runner with leader, which puts him on 4 rerolls. An agility 5 leap witch elf. So this is new. Leap was picked up after the last game. Then we've got a dodge agility 5 blitzer with a niggling injury. So 2 agility 5 blitzers players on this team. 1 agility 5 player on this team. So we can expect lots of shenanigans in tackle zones. 2 unleveled linemen on the bench, so we both have 13 players. And the Dark Elves lead off. Straight away using block, so opening with block players. I think, yeah, if they've taken the, they're not back on this one, they could still have pushed along the line. Didn't need to in the end, as it turned out, because of not both these players, all 3 of these players over. But just a stun to show for it off of the line of scrimmage. And it's like tackle guy is going to hit one of my blitzers. Both my blitzers are having dodge. Yeah, this one tackle is the danger. I've only got 1 tackle player as well. And there's lots of dodge on the pitch, lots of dodge in this league. And I think we're both lagging behind a bit in the tackle stakes. So ball moving forwards a bit. I think nicely shielded there. So witch elf protected behind that blitzer. And I did look at trying to hit the ball this turn, but it was silly. I think I could have got 1 dice on. I couldn't take this runner's assist out. I think if I could have taken this runner's assist out, I might have gone for it. But I decided not to, because of that. I didn't want to just go for a 1 dice with this tackle guy. So go for the kicker. This game was played. We finished about 10 minutes ago, by the way, but I'm not going to get time to record this tomorrow. So grabbing a knockout straight away with the mighty blow guy, who's increasingly important to this team, and he's definitely the most experienced player on the team in the league, in fact, as well. And we're going to look to go toe to toe because we've got 1 guard and they don't have any. So if we're all kind of matched up, the idea was that they'll hopefully not get any good blocks, or not many. And if I need to throw my guard in to kind of swing it in my favour, then I've got that option. Do have 2 dice here though, because that was a stun. And I think they can get 2 dice on this guy too. Ooh, it's moved up over here, so it's like they're going to blitz this one. and then try and create some space here to claim. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. But putting some screening players in first. Well, that's an assist anyway. You need to watch, protect this area a bit. Go for the blitz with this lineman. So go and try and push away. Gets the knockdown there, so that'll be a well protected ball. Dodge away with the tackle guy, so I won't be able to hit him back next turn, or not for free anyway. And then one foul dodge there. So no getting at the ball there. If you've been watching these past couple of seasons, you'll probably have noticed, because I think I mention it basically every game, that I like to defend really aggressively using this high elf team. But I decided against it tonight because a few times I've been a bit caught out with with the ball moving quickly. So a bit more patience on this drive. So I'm looking to shut off this area down here to give them no easy way forwards, and then engage them here as well. So I think the blitz is coming over here on the witch elf, on that agility 5 witch elf, just to push through. So the Dark Elves here can kind of stay still, or they can go backwards. They haven't really got a good option to do anything else. Because I've got a prone player here, they can't really try and take this space, because leaving that player in there is just in their way. You push the guard away. And find a power on that guy there. Yeah, with these blitzers back here as well, they do need to kind of watch the back of their cage. Which was sort of the idea of having them over there. And they do hold still. That's a knockdown there, and for follow-up I'll give this blitzer a way out. And I'm looking for something special for him late in the turn. It won't be the blitz. That's another knockout. So that's 2 knockouts in 3 turns we've had, which is pretty good going. It's a bit rough on the Dark Elves. So I think they've had a lot more knockdowns than me up to this point, but just I think I'd only had 2 stuns so far. That is just another push. And then again we shut this space because I'm quite interested in just pushing them against the touchline and restricting where they can go. And here I look at, I think, getting tackle. Yeah, so that's a 4+ dodge and then a 3+. And that leaves tackle on there. So I did, when it was too late, spot the surf risk here because we've got frenzy. You can push there, then push off the pitch. So I could maybe have tried to get in there. Do re-roll. Wanted the push. I let them have the push that time, but then not this time. So I was fortunate there that there wasn't a push available because I could take the knockdown. Now I think my opponent played very well in this game. I think the one mistake they made here was leaving the ball next to this prone guy. That grabs a pushback, and I think also this 1 dice block was mega risky, and it's resulted in a knockout too. So with the knockout in their own turn, that is 3 knockouts so far. Then I've had 3 turns. But here it's not that difficult for me to get this guard player in here, and that's just 2 dice on the ball with a tackle player. So I do think they needed to move away there. And I was kind of surprised to get to my turn with that play still on. There's the first casualty of the game. Yeah, so guard in place, and then we have our 2 dice. This is just a stun, so now I'd like to see where the ball goes. Pretty good bounce for me because I can get tackle zones on it, which is what I'm looking for. So there, I did dodge into a tackle zone. Just want to highlight the maths of I'd need to go for it to stand there if I dodge through on a 2+. So that'd be 2 2+ rolls. But as I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure a 3+ with a reroll for the dodge skill is better than a 2+ for the go for it, which would use a team reroll if I needed it. So that was why I made that dodge instead of coming through and then back in with a go for it. So it's 2 tackle zones on the ball. Yeah, and I wanted the marker in there as well. And this was a turn of absolute nonsense, which was kind of a tipping point in the game. So we got 2 casualties that turn, took the ball down as well, but I'm also not finished because I'd said about agility 5 shenanigans. And this ball looks fairly innocuous here, but we can just whiz right through. I kind of, when I was waiting for this result, I'd kind of regretted that reroll because I thought it was a bit much, but I do manage to get the ball safe here too. Yeah, so that was an unreasonably successful turn, which was very harsh on my opponent because he suddenly finds themselves down to 5 players without the ball on their attacking drive. 6 players, sorry, but one is stunned this turn. So first action for the Leaping Witch Elf, who comes in here, has a go at my thrower. It's 2 dice uphill, but re-rolls that push into a skull. I think they could have taken the push on the first one, then they're getting another 2 red dice anyway. And then if you need to re-roll on that, you've got it. Because of Frenzy, of course. So yeah, I mean, I would have chosen the push, and it's another one. But decided to re-roll that, just looking for the double power. And I'm looking at, I really want to level this player more, who's been stuck on just wrestle for a little while. My thrower's on 2 points as well, so I'm looking at setting up a screen first and then going for the throw down that way. It's 2 2+ rolls with a re-roll on both of them for inbuilt skills. And I do need the pass skill there. But if I did drop it with a double 1 somewhere, I'd rather not be easy for my opponent to get the ball. Another casualty there. That's the leader runner, so they're down to down a re-roll, second half too. Now it is 5 Dark Elves left. And we just get some pushes, which is fine. I can't really complain, and I'm not going to. There we are. The ball way down here. We get 2 dice on my danger player there with tackle, but don't get through the armour. That fell dodge into a stun, so a bit of a retreat there from my opponent. And I kind of look to do the same and just try and ride this out until turn 8. To going ahead at the half is the plan at this point. So just setting up a screen which I'm hopeful my opponent can't get through, protecting some of my more valuable and delicate players, the catchers. And then we can try and throw the ball around a bit with my thrower. So all a bit dull at the moment, but I promise you the end of the half is exciting. End of both halves, in fact. Both halves is quite exciting. Let's grab the point from my thrower. So my opponent comes down this way, so I do have to be aware of them next turn. And what they also do here, very wisely, is put in a scoring threat, which may or may not become relevant. Let's grab a pal there. I should find a 6. Well, I needed a 5. So first of all, we're going to screen off these players before we start messing around with the ball. I do want to make another throw this turn, and maybe another one next. I think by the time we got to turn 8, I'd just be running it in, but it'd be nice to get this throw to 5 points, so that my attacking drive can level. So screening, want to watch down the bottom here because the Dark Elves are quick. Yeah, maybe I think where my thrower is, I should probably just be holding the ball and not trying to get him a point this turn. But we put this one back, that's the tackle guy. So put him on the ground. And go for the handoff. And then the throw. Yeah, throw. I should have got the thrower over this side so he could be more in the screen, because my opponent does get at my ball carrier in this turn with sort of a bit of a desperate play, but they managed to get through. So it's a 5+, 3+ on the dodges. Find those dice, get a 1 dice power, and stun my catcher. So that is on the ground, and we got another agility 5 player here who we've seen what they can do with tackle zones. So there he goes, pops back out. Failed interception from my catcher. Fell pass first time, but uses the team reroll. Gets it up here. There's 2+ handoff. 2+ go for it. The Dark Elves against all odds. I'll pop in this in. Ah, what are they? Yeah. Classic end zone tripwire, which is very unfortunate for my opponent. But I'm so far forward here that this is now a really big ask to score from this drive, which I've really like been in control of, and it should never have got that far. So this lineman, these 2 go for it and a pickup, so that's 3 2+. Now needs a 5 to wag it over to this guy. So this is a long bomb. Long bomb for an elf is a 5+, more agility 4 player. Gets a 6 on the reroll, and then it's to a catcher, so this is 2+ with the reroll to score. So, very nervy stuff, but we do manage to grab about a touchdown. So pretty exciting into the half, as promised. And that is half time. Because it gives me that second, so it ended the half. So it's 3 casualties not coming back. 2 of their 3 knockouts do, but I think that puts them on 10 players. Is it 9? It's 9 players as it stands. And now we get to attack. Dark Elves setting up pretty narrow. Yeah, we go throw a deep, and I think being 1 up and then attacking, I think I'm looking to score quickly, give them the ball back, and then try and defend again, which I've mentioned before is what I prefer to do with this team. So I could go for the old get to a catcher and screen them over here. I think with the agility 5 players and with frenzy in play, I don't have a lot of the side of the pitch to play with. But we get a pitch invasion, so that does scupper any plans of scoring quickly. Affects me more, but the Dark Elves do have 1 fame, so it's perfectly reasonable that they get more affected by that. So I have a little look here, making sure the ball is safe for any dice. I've only been left one block. And I should have made that my blitz because I'm not actually blitzing anyone else. And I could have moved this guy afterwards to protect him, because I'm going to have to leave him vulnerable to properly protect the ball. So this player in here is the only protection he's got, but that's no protection from these squares. This player on 14 points, I thought I'd go for a cheeky throw with him. Bit greedy re-rolling it, but I don't want it bobbling over here and going into my opponent's possession, so I do have to re-roll that. Whether I should be making that pass is another question. Perhaps shouldn't. I was surprised it wasn't the tackle blitzer making this. It's a pushback either way, but I expected the tackle guy to be doing that hit. Although I guess they want tackle over here. I think they were looking at on the ball carrier. I'll dodge that way instead. Yes, that was a dodge into a tackle zone to watch this guy. It was 4+ to get there. Which I thought this blitzer might be doing with the dodge skill. Okay, so we had one turn where we didn't feel like we were up on numbers with the pitch invasion, but now we can pick everyone up though. So I do have to use my blitz here because this is the most important bit of the pitch. It's pressure on the ball. So throw her back in the game. Okay, I've got 2 dice there because I want to use tackle on this dodge guy. Which is a knockdown. Though anyone would have got that knockdown. But always play to the advantages you have with skills. And that is the ball caged. Although with the high agility players around, not especially safe, or not completely anyway. We'll grab another knockout there for good measure. That is the tackle blitzer. And then that's protection from my blitzer, somewhat. Yeah, they can't get 2 dice on him without guard. They can on this player. Oh, they've got 1 dice on my blitzer and found a pal. So 1 in 6 there. Yeah, have to wrestle here. It's not worth a reroll. Especially with the ambitious plans they've got for the rest of the turn. So going with, this is the Leap Witch. And that is a rerolled Defender Stumbles into a pal, and that is a dodge player down and knocked out. That's the Agility 5 catcher. It's two 1 dice pals that turn into a knockout. They finally get something go a bit more their way, and then that is a dodge out through tackle zones, but then a 1 turns up. So some positive and negative there for the Dark Elves. We're into turn 11, so I'm looking at wanting my thrower to recover the ball. We've got this catcher who I want to score, so I'm going to try and chuck him the ball. I am going to struggle for screening him off that effectively though, because I need to use quite a few actions to make the ball safe and to clear the pass so there's no interception risk or a reduced interception risk. So this lineman's in here to watch this guy. Need to reroll that 1 on the pickup. Get that, and I think this level's the throw on, isn't it? Yeah, he's on 5 points. So doesn't make the interception. 2/2+ throws are successful, and we run away. But there are players here who can get round, and I did think for a while about where I wanted to put this catcher where he could best block people, and I think over here maybe the best in the end. Though 1 there would have scuppered me. I don't know, I think I should have left this guy where he was. I mean, I get away with this. But he doesn't really block the path through. He should maybe have come in a bit more to mark this guy. So Witch in scoring range again. So it's a scoring threat, much like they had at the end of the first half. It's always a good idea to leave them in because you just don't know what's going to happen over here. And they're both down here is good enough because I've got wrestle. and I have to use it. If I don't use Wrestle, I just get knocked over and this Blitzer's still standing up, so I've got to pull him down as well. And that is failed dodge out. Goes in, grabs the ball. Pick up in a tackle zone, and then this guy's out as well. Dodging away from tackle and made it, and that guy's also safe. So that's the assist I need on the ball carrier. Now I need to take these 2 assists out. So put the guard blitzer in there, and that's 2 dice on the ball. More players forward here as well. And catches it, which is a shame. But he does. And then, massive mistake I make here is ignoring this Witch Elf, which you just don't do. I don't think you do that at all. Also could have got this Surf with 1 less player, because I should have pushed there first of all, and then he can push and then we can blitz there. Instead of going that way, using the Wrestle guy here. Bit of a greedy reroll, but we do get the Surf on that dodge blitzer. Yeah, I put quite a bit into that, and could, had I done it with 1 less player, this thrower could have come over here instead of blocking. Do watch this guy though, because I'm wary of what happened at the end of the first half. Using that Wrestle there to get rid of the guard, which is what they need to do. We're doing here, they're trying to clear out. I've got 1 dice there, got a knockdown. And then 1 dice on the ball carrier. That's just a push. So if it stands, he's got 2+ with a reroll to score. But this blitz comes and stands there, so that shuts down that way really. And I can't blitz him because he's got sidestep and dodge. So that's what I mean. I highlighted at the beginning. I don't think I blocked that guy once. But I do make a box here. Push the Wrestle catcher out. Yeah, and yeah, this is the point where I have to go watch the Witch Elf. So this tackle guy should be over here really. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Wouldn't need to go for it actually. I've got no rerolls. No rerolls is key because I make a massive mistake in this turn as well. I do make quite a few mistakes this game, which I have been pointing out. So far, I kind of got away with it. But yeah, I needed to come mark this player. So go way around here. So this is just a 3+ with a reroll. So 89%. And then fail the 1 in 6 to dodge away. 2 to score, and I found that much like the Dark Elves did in turn 8. Ones, man. They're always going to get you when you're an elf coach. That's the ball clear. And crucially, we've got the scoring threat who's completely unmarked. So we've got a handoff there to the agility 5 guy, this blitzer. And come through here with a couple of 2s and then make a throw around all my players who could maybe have been interception risks, but he's gone just right around all of them. Made that successful throw, which I think was a 3+. Yeah, it's a 3+, and then no go for it's needed this time. That is 1-1. And yeah, really well worked, but a complete mess up by me. Yeah, making too many mistakes. Too big a risk that. With no rerolls, I shouldn't be trying to score from that. I should just be making the ball safe and trying to score next turn. So both knockouts back there. That puts the Dark Elves on 10. I still have my full team. I think I know I have still got that guy knocked out. He's not come back. The agility 5 catcher. And I get another go to attack with 3 turns to go. And I think I don't really have enough urgency about that. I think, I mean, I do put a scoring threat in very early, so that's a really shallow kick. over to the corner where I don't really have players. So that means my thrower is going to have to come way over here, and I've got to protect the ball over here. So it's a really clever choice of where to kick, actually, because like going deep, I just go get the ball and then I can throw it. I've got 2 turns to throw it. But over here, I have to shift all of my focus over here to protect the ball because I can't really do anything with it once I've picked it up. And if you got a bit closer to the halfway line as well, I wouldn't have been able to pick it up with my thrower because it's 6 squares away from them at the moment. I don't really want to be throwing, go for it to go get the ball. So someone else would have had to get it as well. So, and it's most dangerous in my thrower's hands. Looking at the blitz here, because I do need to create space here. So I'm going to go get that tackle. Oh, this is a dodge blitzer, isn't it? Just to stun on that one. Then it has to come over here and throw this way. And I have left surf risks on, but they're kind of mutually protecting each other. The Dark Elves would have to commit a lot of players to surf in this guy. And with them being outnumbered, they can't really afford to do that. So I do have my Nerves of Steel catcher up here. So it's his job to catch the ball in tight spots and then score. So if they don't blitz him, I could go for that next turn. I was surprised that wasn't a blitz. But I think they're looking at blitzing elsewhere. That's the second marker there, and that means if he does catch the ball, he'll have to go backwards, and he'll need to roll more dice. So it's the Leaping Witch coming through. That's the first fail they've had. First failure they've had. In there is a 1 dice, but just for both down. And I think my opponent said that was how he learned you could leap more than once a turn. I didn't realise that was something he wasn't sure about. But yeah, this turn I switch off a bit. I don't realise every time I do one of these videos, I say like, it's turn 15 or turn 7. You've got to make sure you've got scoring threats in. So it's the basic stuff, like make sure you've got people who can score. And I completely stopped paying attention to the turn because I got really excited about this surf. I was like, oh, there's a box. I can like blitz that guy, push him there through, or push him off with a catcher. I got so into that I forgot about scoring threats. That's shielding the ball. Blitzer in there, so if it's a power, I can get both of them. That could be great. It's just a push. I need to push him in there, and then that's 2 dice for a surf. Leave his catcher in here, who is 1 square short of being able to score. Is quite important. Yeah, this catcher. I'm looking at giving him the ball, thinking I've still got 2 turns after this, and not properly paying attention still, even at this point. So like, yeah, let's make the ball safe here. This guy can score, of course. All they've got to do is knock him over. I do dodge him over here as well, so they will have to use their blitz there. So he is the only scoring threat I've got in this turn. That's 2 markers, which isn't a massive problem with Nerves of Steel. I'll just have to try and manoeuvre him out afterwards. This is the kick wrestle. Lyman coming in, so he needs to go for it, and he gets his 2 dice and he's down, so he can't score. But he definitely can't now because he's knocked out. And yeah, we kind of messed it up. Except by this point I had realised, and I was curious what this guy was going to do, because you can probably see there are potentials for push plays here. So I was looking at, if he stays there, I need to push him there, and I need to blitz him. I need to fill that gap in and blitz him to push him the 1 square forward I need. But as it turns out, I think I get a bit helped out with where he stands here. It's quite fortunate because I can straight away make this into a box, and you can probably see from here I just need to blitz into that corner to push him the 1 square forwards. But then once he's there, if this guy's still on his feet, I could try and push him some more and try and avoid the go for it's that I need to make. So he does choose to dodge, which means I can have another go. So throw gets 3 dice. That's a push there. And now this is into a T shape, so once he gets pushed back, I can again push into a throw out. I get a power this time as well, so I don't even have to dodge away at the end. And runs in to go 2-1 up in 16. So again, it got away with a mistake with that. Yeah, just completely stopped paying attention to the turn number, and but yeah, was left the opportunity to nudge him forward a bit. So sort of mini 1-turn. I did actually manage to score a real life 1-turn touchdown at a tabletop tournament in October. I was delighted. My first one. That was with High Elves as well. But yeah, that was a bit of a mini one that we got there. Only needed the 1 push, and it wasn't from the line of scrimmage, so it doesn't really count. But it might do. I'm going to claim it. Dark Elves do have the speed to be able to 1-turn, and I don't know what my opponent's been studying up on, so I'm going to spread out my line of scrimmage to make it harder to get chain pushes, and backline here to make it harder to get dodges. I need the 1 tackle player, so it doesn't really matter where I put him, they can avoid him anyway. But I could also be in trouble if there's a riot, but I will have the players to hopefully be able to react to that. With 10 players as well, it becomes quite a bit harder, but Frenzy can be really helpful for working out your extra chain pushes. But keep deep, send the ball way back, and here's a deep one. So just going to take some blocks. I guess they'll set up wide like this in case there was a riot, but now there's not. They can use their blitz to get this third hit. Grab a knockout there, which I think was their 3rd of the game, which you think three knockouts is quite solid, but there were more going the other way, and with one of them only being at this sort of irrelevant point. So it's a double both down. I did count up at the time, and I'm pretty sure that this Witch Elf could have got 3 dice here as well, which may have helped, because this does go into a pushback. And then the first double skulls of the game, which is the last action, and we do finish 2-1. So yeah, really well played by my opponent, who had very little to work with for a lot of the game, and yeah, acquitted themselves very well. I got away with mistakes in the meantime, and I kind of got away with them because of this. Not out blocking them by much, but getting much more return for it. And we got the same sort of armour value. I've only got 1 Mighty Blow player, who's I think only responsible for 1 knockout and one injury. But yeah, that's where the high numbers landed in my turn from my box, and that's how it goes sometimes. We've all been on both sides of those sorts of games. No levels from MVPs. I did get 2 players level, including the catcher who scored both touchdowns, the Mighty Blow one. So he got the a casualty and 2 touchdowns. Carried all his haul of points. 8 points for the Agility 5 Witch Elf as well, who scored and got MVP. And yeah, the numbers spread as even as always. I throw in loads of dice, but I guess they had loads of those like really clutch plays where they're grabbing the ball out of tackle zones and stuff. Or did that twice anyway. So that ends our round. We have game round 4 starting on Monday. I think it will probably take a bit longer to play with Christmas and stuff. There'll be a lot of us obviously visiting family, one of us working, being a church of England minister and stuff. So we might extend the next game round for a bit. But I'm playing Amazons next. We've got Nurgle against Chaos, the 2 bash teams facing off against each other, and those Dark Elves have Undead. None of the Dark Elves levelled in that game. I don't think they bought anyone or anything like that. Or did they? No, it's the same as it was. There was one missing next game injury, which actually I missed at the time. Oh, it was an niggling injury. No, I do remember seeing that. Yes, that was a block lineman. It's picked up a niggling injury to add to their a very good blitzer with a niggling injury, who I just couldn't hit. I think I did knock out at one point. He was carrying the ball in that first drive. Yeah. But yeah, we took 2 levels. So our thrower took sure hands. Just sort of normal advance. This guy's taken tackle, and I did roll an 11. I thought for a couple of seconds about taking the agility before realising it's not the player I'm trying to build. I just wish I'd rolled them the other way around, because the agility 5 thrower would have been immense. But instead, we passed up the agility, took tackle and sure hand. So it's just 2 normal advances. So at 1770. This is how we stand. We go top after that with 2-1-0. And yeah, highest team value. So I think this Cavs team have a level to take, but they won't get 70 TV out of it. But yeah, there we go. That is round 3 done. Round 4 coming next.